Alright, let's draw for turn. We're here to bring you commander insights and hot tech to level up your game. Each episode focuses on a different topic with our 4-man pod to give you all our spicy take on it. Everybody, it's been 2 weeks. What is going on? In no specific order, because I didn't figure out an order before the show. Who wants to go first?
Genshin Impact, best game in 2020. Fight me. I'm pretty content with how Shuyun's turned out. So my next project is fixing Moldrata, because I realized that running every card as a permanent except for 2 cards in the deck makes the deck extremely clunky. So I guess it's okay to run non-permanents in the deck.
I dig that.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it is okay.
I have heard.
We'll forgive you.
Well, I just wanted to make absolutely sure the graveyard was a maximum extension of your hand. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, this just opened. We have a new open spot on the Draw for Turn podcast this week.
Yeah, preferably a non-blue player.
Man, get out of here.
I'm kidding. Awesome, dude.
But yeah, I'm pretty pumped for Legends, and I've got an Obeka brew I'm working on the moment. So we'll see. I just think she's the most of all the commanders. There's a lot of unique commanders. She's definitely up there though. As one of the more unique ones, and with a pretty high ceiling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think she could produce some pretty nasty stuff. Example,
it's artifacts, so
it is. It's into tournaments too.
Has a limit.
Obeka has nothing to do with artifacts.
Yeah, they all just sound the same. Never mind.
So it's just I just imagine Insurrection, but you don't get it. No one gets anything back.
Right. Yeah. In the turn, nothing leaves. I mean, Adam and I.
There is.
If you really want to be greasy, you can do Isochron Scepter Final Fortune.
Yeah, that will not be included in this deck. However,
Final Fortune is sorcery.
Final Fortune is an instant actually.
Oh, right. That
last chance is a sorcery.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That will not be a deck. However, Glorious End will be in the deck, because that's actually kind of not too bad, honestly. It's actually moderately useful.
I dig it.
Because it has more use than I played Final Fortune, and Glorious End will stop some shenanigans from happening. It's turns. It's I paid 50 life to activate my Aetherflux West of Achilles. And no, you didn't.
Yeah, and Aetherflux just kind of gets tired.
just do what I do and play Deflecting Palm in Isochron Scepter.
Yeah, I had Deflecting Swat for that last time, but I had a Palm to back it up in case somebody had something.
Can we rule 0 Deflecting Palm out of our pods?
No. It's the most flavorful card other than Monastery Inventor in the entire show.
Why would you ban a Boros card?
Because it killed me.
To make EK mad. That's why. Anyway, so I guess I've said my piece. I guess EK, what have you been up to?
Brewing Goblin Storm with Steven, and
It's gonna be awesome. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be awesome.
I got some help from Cobblepot, the CBH brewer, via his Twitter feed. So
hey, did you see that partner commander combo that was on Command Zone yesterday with the 2 red commanders? It was with Jessica and the giant dude.
Oh yeah.
Where you can turn 1/21 somebody.
Yep.
Oh shit! I did not.
It's
it's okay. Well, you basically pull out the giant for no mana,
right?
And then you play Jessica for not a lot of mana, and then
you triple,
and then you triple the damage of your 7-power dude, and you 21 somebody.
Holy crap! That's awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, we were doing we were doing Roger plus Cloudstone Curio.
Roger.
Rograk.
Roger. Rogue. Is it the Kobold dude?
Yeah, the little dinky dude.
Okay.
Keywords. Yeah.
Create. You can either create infinite mana with it, create an infinite storm count, and infinite mana, just all of this stuff.
The primary
one Kobolds of Care Keep and that guy, and you're good to go. And the Cloudstone Curio, and then we have infinite mana.
Well, like
ideal
or infinite
primary
storm count.
The ideal primary way the deck's gonna win is grape shotting the entire table at once. That's
I like
the
that.
ideal way to win.
But I thought we wanted to ignite memories, everybody.
That too. That's also in there. But I would
Or
love
you can
to
just
deal 120.
empty the warrens, create 2 million goblins.
It's all possible.
It works.
Yeah. And like, I mean, other than that, you're just like doing goblins, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Goblins is still
impact tremors.
Listen, goblins has never been a hardier tribe in EDH than it is now. I'm gonna just put that out there.
See, the idea was just to make like Steven, like make a storm deck using Steven's secret like favorite to play Magic, which is just playing a bunch of goblins.
Can confirm that is his favorite thing to do.
Can confirm that is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, it turns out a Resident Blue player was a red player this whole time. No, not red.
Oh
goblins.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
Not red, just goblins.
Just goblins.
It was like Rakdos goblins before Rakdos was a word.
Yeah, you for a while in Modern, you were a Gruul player too, because
yeah,
Titan Shift is a Gruul deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound.
No,
he doesn't sound too proud about it.
I did not win a lot with that deck. It was a lot of fun, but I did not win a lot.
No, you like to think you did. No, but like gameplay wise, I got a game in the other day with some of my other friends. I played Anya, Merciless Angel.
Anya, Merciless Angel.
She's
Tell me what she does.
5-mana 4/4. For each opponent that is at or below their starting life total, she is bigger and indestructible.
Oh, this is a Boros commander, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one that looks like she's got a sickle in her hand or something like that.
Yeah. So you just you just pain train and burn the entire table with like Citadel Pain, Mana Barbs.
Yeah, that dude, pretty good content creator. No one really talks about. Aristocards is his name. It's like the Baron. He used to do a lot of stuff with Total Biscuit, rest in peace. Now he has his own channel called Aristocards. And he's actually his content's pretty good. I just wish he would come out with stuff more often. Kind of like Request for the Jank Lord. I wish they would come out with stuff more often.
It's not group slug. It's group kill the entire table for doing anything.
Group oops, you're dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to have like a maximum buffed Anya Merciless Angel, so she was I think that would put her at 13/13.
Whew.
Yeah, 13/13. Indestructible. And then I had like Furnace or like one of the other doublers out, and I was just popping people. Because the doublers and the triplers with some of those tax effects like Mana Barb and stuff is disgusting.
Right, because the damage.
Like, you want to play a counter spell? No, you take 9 damage.
So now you will you will not play that counter spell.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for playing Magic the Gathering.
You will die. You will die if you counter.
All right.
But I've also realized that my love language in Magic is whispering, this spell can't be countered into people's ears.
So
I mean, that's a fair thing to
Magic,
whisper.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's
They're
like,
my favorite. They're my favorite words.
This spell can't be countered. That's it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty exciting couple weeks, man.
Sean, what have you been up to?
Honestly, it's aside from Magic, it's just been work. It's been cray, but Magic-wise, it's been pretty straightforward for me. Arena, new set, lots of fun. Commander-wise,
I learned about energy this week.
we learned a lot about energy.
And Aetherworks Marvel.
And Aetherworks Marvel, which is going to be in my new Commander brew for Corvold, which is like Corvold Big Eldrazi.
Well, it's Corvold Eldrazi spawns that will eventually beget Big Eldrazi.
Yeah, but
And it has an Aetherworks Marvel in it because we're sacrificing permanents willy-nilly, so we may as well get free stuff for it.
It was a lot of fun. Adam and I did some testing with it, and the hands were pretty. They were pretty disgusting sometimes. But yeah, I did that. A couple Commander games on the side. Nothing Nothing too out of the way. They were just good fun. We had some greasy games last Friday. Rocks and Food Chain. I did get mail day today. I got my new food chain and my Emrakul the Promised Ending today. So that was my happiness.
Well, at least one of those is going in the new deck.
Both of them are.
You went against me with the food chain thing again.
Yes, I did. It's back in the deck.
It's his favorite card. Give him some slack, dude.
I have a lot of favorite cards too. Doesn't mean I use them.
There's synergy. Swazzle, before I get more grief about this, what have you been up to?
Oh, I'm enjoying this. You guys can keep ragging on. That's fine. I'll take my turn in a minute.
Thanks.
As I sleeve a Niv Mizzet, you'd be proud of me.
I'm so proud.
So that's one thing I've been doing this whole time. I've been sleeving up. I bought that Gavi Precon.
Nice.
So I'm sleeving it up to have something that's not super spiky and that everybody doesn't hate playing against.
I like
it.
Yeah, Gavi actually got a lot of hype, but then fell off immediately.
Yeah,
she got a lot of hype because there was a $40 card in it.
Yeah, but the other thing was oh no, Gavi's still a decent commander. It's just well, hey, have you looked at some of the cycling cards? They're not that good.
Right. So this is just as the pre-con. I just want to have something low power, but I am going to throw all my extra shit into it soon, so it's not going to be this for long. But did this. My bike was in the shop this week, and we had a tropical storm, so I couldn't ride anything.
That one behind you.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
She's back today. Just got her. But I played a bunch of Magic this week because of that. And I can also say that there's teamer energy everywhere, and I can also say I am 100% win rate against it with Goblins because it's just too slow. So when you turn 3 Muxes, you just win.
Listen, I keep saying Sultai energy is the way, but no one's listening to me.
They're all just reminiscing. You may be right.
I said that about Ramanop Red, and we did okay with that deck.
We did. We climbed to platinum with that deck, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, we got the diamond with it, I thought.
Yeah, you're right. We did. We did get the diamond with it.
Yeah. It was just it was mostly the old school build of Ramanop Red.
Yeah. Hazu Red is Hazu Win.
Plus Monkey Goblin and stuff like that.
Goblin.
That was an amazing play that I had the other day. It was I was just playing Goblins. It was 3 a.m, and my opponent's playing Hazu Red or something like that. And I am at dead next turn, and I'm playing. I'm not playing Goblins. Sorry, I'm playing 4-color mid-range Sultai with white, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to play. I'm literally trying to play lands for my gold quest. That's literally why I chose it.
You're playing 4-color rare binder.
Yes, it's literally 4-color. All my shit that rotated, and or got banned. And he basically has me dead on board. I'm able to top deck an Uro, bring it back, gain 6, and I draw into a Thoughtseize. He has only 1 card in hand, and I just gained 6 life. So I'm like, why not? This is all in 1 turn. I Thoughtseize, it's a Hazoret. I take it, he concedes automatically. I won a game with a Thoughtseize. It was fantastic. After being surely dead on board.
After trying to win with Thoughtseizes for years and not winning.
Yeah, not pulling it off.
Works out now. Love it.
Sick.
But yeah, had a good time with that.
It was a good run, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, well let's put some news on the stack real quick before we get into our main topic. We got a minute to talk about various news from World Magic the Gathering. News on the stack. Let's see what's resolving. The current day of the show, Friday, November 13th, 2020. We are 1 week away from Commander Legends, the first ever Commander-centric sealed product. What are you guys most excited for?
Jund Mana Burn.
Good answer. Swallow?
Honestly, just this is the draftable set, is it not?
Yeah.
I'm just excited to try that. I still have no idea how it works.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm excited for a lot of things, and it's I agree. I'm excited for a lot. So reprints are great and all, new commanders are great and all, but come on, draft experience.
It's something we've never been able to do. Period. So that's cool.
Well, it's just a different way to play commander, which is that's supported by the mothership. EK, EK, what are you most excited about in the new set? And it should be if it's not a Boros or white card, I'll be very upset.
I mean, I was super high on Wylith for a little while, and then I started brewing it, and I was like, this is just better in Akiri, so... But
yeah, it just turns out like Akiri's like the better commander for the Wylith.
It's just more consistent.
Yeah,
is what it is. But I'm most excited about watching people Wheel of Misfortune for 40 and one-shot people.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because that's a thing.
Wait, explain this.
So, you know how everyone picks a number with Wheel of Misfortune, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't specify a number between one number and another. You can make it
obviously
as
you just pick an. Yeah, so like, are you insinuating they pick their own life total?
Yeah, you pick your own life total. You have Fire Song and Sunspeaker out.
You die immediately, unfortunately.
Not with the way Fire Song and Sunspeaker works.
Because the spell has lifelink.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you do not die.
You do not die.
You do not die, and the rest of the table gets burnt.
Whoops.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
No, but for
Wheel of Misfortune is a pretty
stutter.
Wheel of Misfortune is a good compromise. They're not getting Wheel of Fortune.
It's not a card worthy of its own show, but like it is the way, quote unquote, reprinting a reserve list card should be. Like it should 100%. Be fun.
Yeah.
And like comical almost.
Yeah.
No, I've gotten a chance to draft sim the new set.
Did you win?
I mean, I'm not much of a drafter, but I tried going into it with an open mind. Maybe I just got bad packs, but it was actually kind of difficult to put a deck together. It really just felt like a regular draft format with.
Listen, that's how I feel drafting anything. So
I mean,
gonna help me.
It felt like a proper draft. You know, like just any other limited format, but you have a card off to the side that you can play.
Yeah. I like that though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad it exists. It wasn't for me, but I'm glad it exists.
So it's like Korea draft. Got it.
I don't know. I've been super spoiled by being able to draft Commander Cube before.
That's always fun.
Yeah, that's better.
So like, it's way different. But either way, like I'm excited for my Hans and Safi partner deck.
Yeah, but there's no. What's the next logical step in the cycle? Safi Eric's daughter, Hans Eric's son, Eric's self, yeah.
Yeah,
Eric self, yeah.
Yeah, that would be their dad's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that Eric self would be the Naya commander.
No such luck. You got a politics commander out of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is very not.
All right, well, that's news on the stack for now, and now we're going to get into our main topic of the show, where we talk about one card for 40 minutes, and that card is Jeweled Lotus. So Jeweled Lotus is for those of you who haven't seen it, is a card coming in.
If you live under a rock,
if you live under a rock,
good for you if you do. That's awesome.
Yeah,
but
good for you.
Yeah, probably good for your
so this is a 0-mana artifact. I believe it's legendary too, right?
Irrelevant.
No, it's
not.
Okay, it's not legendary. Okay. For 0 mana, it says sacrifice Jeweled Lotus. Add 3 mana to your mana pool of any one color to your mana pool. Uses only to cast your commander spells. So this sounds very familiar to a lot of people, and as
people have their retirement funds tied up in cards.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, so there is a lot of community uproar regarding Jeweled Lotus. More so that, like, if you thought certain secret layers had a lot of uproar, you haven't heard nothing yet.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the reasons why. The first and foremost is that there is a distinction between this card and a card that's on every ban list, just about. Black Lotus.
It's the most iconic.
It is the,
Magic card of all
it is
time.
the most.
yeah.
Well, I would say Lightning Bolt is the most iconic Magic card of all time. That's me. But I mean, this is. I would say like, tell me what the game of Magic the Gathering is about. Lightning Bolt. Tell me a card that symbolizes Magic the Gathering. Black Lotus.
I was gonna say people who don't play Magic know about a Black Lotus.
They do.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't know that Lightning Bolt's the best removal spell ever printed.
Well, I would say like, I guess they're iconic for different reasons. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right.
Anyway, so
Point being.
so it has a distinction to Black Lotus, which, as you know, is banned in. Unless your monstrous play group has Rule 0. This card it is banned in every format except for Vintage, where it is restricted. But the biggest one is that the pre-order price points start average about $150 at the median.
That's just and that's a plain.
And that's for a plain old, not foil, not borderless mythic.
Yeah, if you want to pre-order a foil borderless version, it's $500.
I would say, first of all, you're too late.
Minimum.
Second of all, it's $500.
Yeah, minimum.
It's ridiculous.
I just wanted an etched Obeka, not and that was only $25.
Yeah, but
This is like this is the highest pre-order a card has been in a long time.
yeah, I don't even think like a Jace was this high on a pre-order. Like foiled Jace box topper, I think from Double Masters was what, 250, 300, maybe on the top end during the initial.
Yeah.
And like
So-
now we're seeing a first time printing for just a commander card, literally only for your commander.
Yeah, this is only relevant in this format.
And
no
only-
other format will ever use this card.
No, not only that,
Irrelevant for
it's,
casting one card.
yeah,
Period.
it's
as
literally
well.
just casting
One
your commander.
or two cards in your deck.
Correct.
Yeah, like $500 for
No.
fancy?
All right. First of all, no. Okay. Anyway, let's move
Yeah.
on from that. So, the people were more upset that this exists because they don't want the format to quote. I guess they don't want the format to spike to power creep even further.
It's already because it's already is.
because we're already on a power creep train now. Which, again, if you heed my words, start running more removal if you want to see a power creep.
We're gonna talk about removal in a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. But everyone's like, okay, this card's too powerful. Okay, here's the thing. So let's talk about the ways this card goes. So this card, the general consensus is this card is either extremely impactful or extremely meh, or like very underwhelming. So where is the power spike in this card in regards to various timestamps in the game, like the early game, mid game, late game? And I think there was EK shared a Twitter post with me, or somebody who said something about that.
I have the tweet pulled up right now.
I think Pleasant Kenobi said it or something like that.
Yeah, I watched this video about it too.
Yeah. That's different. Then I have a different counterpoint
Oh,
to
okay.
what you'll inevitably say.
Okay.
So hypothetically, when you think Jeweled Lotus, off the bat you're like, okay, I can get my commander out like turn 1, turn 2, like my big heavy hitter commander out that quickly, right? Like that's probably what you immediately go to, like the high roll to get it out really
I suppose
fast.
that's a subjective high roll. Yeah.
Yeah, subjective. So you run the gamut of that happening or dodging commander attacks later on in the game.
Right. So I think the trend is very good in the early game, medium in the middle game, not very good in the late game.
If I'm it depends on the speed of your table too. I'm gonna say turn 8. I'm considering that extremely late game for how we play. Okay,
Yeah,
for sure.
That's
And like a CE,
30-something
like a
turns already.
game is probably over.
Yeah, so like if I draw this card on turn 8, I'm gonna have to hide the disappointment on my face because I just had the deadest draw in my deck, and I'm dying the next turn. I'm not getting another chance. Okay, like I'm gonna be so mad if that happens.
It's true though.
I think saying it's bad in the late game is the biggest understatement you can get.
Yeah,
Like it's
detrimental.
horrible.
Yeah, but like if it's in your opener,
Yeah, if I need,
it's the best card in the deck.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Like it becomes as like, okay. So that's pretty much the consensus on where this card is powerful, and like at what points the guy is like where like it's kind of like it starts high and then like kind of goes low, like it's like a bell, it's like a downward curve.
Right.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
It reaches the limit past a certain turn where the impact is so close to 0, it's null.
Yep.
Okay. Because this is an early game powerhouse, does that make that an instant staple for every deck?
It makes it as much of an instant staple as running a Mana Crypt or Soul Ring or a Reliquary Tower, or it's up to you. Like,
But you guys still run Reliquary Tower in your deck?
I mean, in a lot of decks I do, yeah.
And that's the first thing I said was, well, that's the first land I'm cutting. Like,
Yeah,
I will say,
Steven and I have had long discussions about Reliquary Tower.
I'm saying you don't. Okay, you don't need. Yeah, I agree. You don't need that for every deck. And this is. I think this is kind of like. But do you need this for every deck?
No.
I think it depends on how fast you're trying to play. Like if you're playing CEDH, I think probably.
I think if you're playing CEDH, I think the answer is 100% yes. I don't see why you wouldn't put this in your deck because you only get.
There is like a 3 degrees of separation answer as to why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But you still would. At the end of it still ends up with you're going to anyways.
The hands where you get it, you're more likely to win the game. And CEDH, I think that's probably all you want. In the other formats, I don't know. Like,
all right, well let's talk about like which decks this is good in. Like what kinds of decks this is good in. Okay, the first one that springs to mind is monocolored decks because this makes only one color of mana.
For sure. I mean, 3 mana less commander, instant turn 1 play.
Yeah, or even later in the game.
You can play a turn 1 4-mana commander.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like you could potentially you could minimum 4 mana. Yeah. So in theory, you could get your Yasan or whatever out, or whatever. If you're playing mono green, you get Yasan out right away. If you're playing Yawgmoth, you get Yawgmoth out right away. Not that you would do this.
I'm about to talk for the next 30 minutes on why I wouldn't play this card, but it is an absolute auto-include in my Urza deck.
Yeah, well, okay. Oh, we'll touch on that shortly because there is another deck I don't like.
There's a bucket of decks like Urza.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's a Cheerio.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So certain dual color decks also want to use this card.
Absolutely.
I would say like even stuff like, I'll just point it out. Like a deck that typically wouldn't want to use wouldn't want a card like this would still use it. Like Buruk Thar. Like Buruk Thar would want to use this card.
Yeah, because it reduces the casting cost of a big thing. I'd even go like Niv Mizzet Payrun. That is a 3 blue, 3
that's
red.
Half a Niv Mizzet. That's half a Niv Mizzet right there.
That's a huge pay up.
If you have I think we can generalize if you have a very restrictive mana cost.
Even not then, like because the example of Buruk Thar, he's 4 green red. Like that covered like I could play Buruk Thar 3 turns sooner than normal because of this.
Right.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't run this in a deck say like Feather or Gallia.
No, because it's really only
or Safi Eriksdottir.
Right. Yeah. I would say like if you have additional costs on top of your colored mana costs, then you probably would not use that. Which brings me to like 3, 4, 5 color commanders probably will not want to use this, with the exception of like I guess Golos would want to use this just
Najeela.
on Najeela and Kenrith, only on the basis that they are not actually 5 color commanders. Oh, I guess
they're 5 color because of their text box.
I guess
right.
the news to say. I guess the news to say too.
Yeah.
I'd also say Korvold could take use of it.
I mean, any chance to get Korvold out fast is huge.
It's not only that too, but there's also like, let's say Korvold's your only creature on the field. You opt to sack to get a draw. You have Jeweled Lotus out. You sack your Lotus, generate 3 mana, get a card draw, feed your Korvold to something, then just recast it, restack something again. Like, ideally not an optimal turn, but like you're taking advantage of the effect for a good card generation. Yeah. Right.
So, well, it brings me to the next point. A deck that can easily reuse this card is good for it.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way, like this should probably go in Muldratha.
I mean this is like a weird extra, like a weird more narrow extra copy of Lion's Eye Diamond.
Yeah, so
which this card has drawn a lot of comparison to Lion's Eye Diamond.
No, with the Muldrotha thing though, for sure. But at the same time, I think at that point you're just using it to be paying its taxes because that thing is dying the second you cheat that thing out. Like it's not gonna last.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying and plus Muldrotha gives you access to just replay the card anyway.
That's the thing I think a lot of people are not understanding is, yes, it's going to help you power out your turn. If I have a turn 1 Urza, I now have 3 teammates against me.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. I'm dying first, and that's the only goal of the table. Okay, you're the target.
The table stops what they're doing until that Urza dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the arch enemy for all intents and purposes, basically, in that situation.
Brings me to the next bucket. Decks that care about artifacts in some way probably will run this.
Joyra.
Yeah, Joyra would.
Urza.
Yeah, Joyra will use it. Silas Wren in Imparter will use it. I want to say like Emery would use it. She's monocolor and cares about artifacts. Urza obviously will use it. I don't know. Like, there's not that many other.
Play.
No, I was gonna say like maybe you put this in Brea, but probably because she's gonna get binned a lot, but probably not.
Maybe I mean.
Equipment decks are basically artifact decks.
Yeah,
I
mean
that's
a chance to get those commanders out faster is a
reason. So like if you were playing like a Balin or a Sir Gwyn or something of that nature, you could power out your equipment beat stick a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But you do pose the risk if you're putting them out like before, like if you do this before, you can like slap all the equipment on them. It's like what's the point kind of thing, you know what I mean? So you have to like do it a certain way. And then the last bucket is like any decks that massively benefit from ramping out commander as early as turn 1. There's like a whole lot of those. Like I would say most of those fall in the monocolor bucket or something of that nature. So there's no 2-color commanders that can use this turn 1. Like okay, so like. What 4-mana 2-color? Well, I guess they would have to be like 2, and then they'd have to be a 4-mana coming with one pip of each, basically.
Yeah, it'd be like
if it's 4 in a dual color, you can cast 4, 2 in Simic, you cast it for crack it for red, play an island.
I guess like you could So I guess I'll just give an example. You could get out like the new Rada really quickly because she's like two green red or something like that.
I was going to make the comment, we've just been chatting, but like I was going to make the comment, what decks have to, I'm putting air quotes for those listening and not watching, for those decks that have to play it, it's any monocolor deck and any 4-mana commander with a guild color. Because you can enable a turn 1 play.
How about turn 1 Marin, turn 1 Teysa?
Turn 1 Azuri.
Turn 1's,
You can like turn 2 Scarab God.
That's scary.
It's scary, but like, I would say okay. But I would say there are less of these decks than there are ones that.
Yeah, there are less that are looking to do this more.
Right.
But there's still a lot of them.
That's
for sure.
So on the next topic of debate. So we live in this is a format, an eternal format with lots of fast mana. How does this compare to the other fast mana in the format?
Mana Crypt's better.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, so I said the largest issue comes from this card being free. 0 cost is attached to an instant 3 of any color, but only for 1 or 2 cards in your entire deck. However, there are a lot of commander-centric strategies, which I still would say, if your entire deck is of course there's going to be an exception. Most of the time, if your deck's 100% based on your commander existing to do its thing, then your deck doesn't work.
Right. But that comes down to like a very niche style and selection of decks. It's not a large populace.
Yeah, I would say I would have to agree though. Like this is probably not better than Mana Crypt. This is also probably not better than Soul Ring.
I was waiting for you to finish. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Think. I mean, the easiest way to think about it. So, in most decks, Jeweled Lotus makes 3 mana once.
Yep.
A Mana Crypt or a Soul Ring is going to net you
easy. Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah. Especially if we're talking turn 1, a turn 1 Soul Ring is going to get you a lot of mana.
Yeah, like I mean, say the game is like 5 turns, like quite a quick game. That's 10 mana.
Because people, especially if it's a quick game like that, nobody's removing your Soul Ring. They're doing their thing to win the game. So you're getting the mana every turn.
Yeah, and it's mana being spent on multiple things over the course of a game as opposed to one thing once.
Right.
Soul Ring can cast 99 cards. Your Jeweled Lotus can cast 1.
Maybe. Anyway, yeah. So like, honestly, like the other thing is like, I'm not usually unhappy if I get a Soul Ring like in the mid game, or even parts of the late game.
It's still mana ramp. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like I'm
it's a little worse, but you're like, oh, okay, like this. It's not like this is useless.
Oh, my Signet just died. Okay, that's cool. You know,
yeah, I already have my commander out, and I drew my Jeweled Lotus. I mean, well, you know.
The only thing I'm saying is I'm not going to be so upset about that in that Storm deck, because at least it's a 0-cost card.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. Again, another bucket of decks. Like, if you want to play play a free card, you may as well get a free card's a free card. I mean,
for sure.
Yep. I mean, shoot, those Storm decks weren't a lot of weird Cheerios anyway, so
you have to. Yeah.
All right. So what other impacts does this card present on the format, if any?
Ooh. This is what I've been waiting for.
All right. Well then.
Yes, Eric. Yes.
Yes.
Eric, in the back. Can't tell that.
For those listening, EK has hand raised first. So.
Yeah. So this actually inadvertently, like, obviously the first place that people thought of Jeweled Lotus for was CEDH, but it in tandem with Opposition Agent completely warps the game. I'm gonna read a tweet from Cobblepot, who's he does stuff with the Lab Maniacs. He's done a lot of stuff for for CEDH. He's like on the Mount Rushmore of CEDH. Yeah. And so here's his tweet: the presence of Opposition Agent in the CEDH metagame reduces the power of Jeweled Lotus by virtue of prompting people to devote more slots to creature removal. Thus, the commanders that get slammed turn 1 off of Lotus will find themselves much more likely to get shot down. He's not saying you don't run it. Like, you're still going to run it. It's insane.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have more removal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to lead... That's just going... The presence, the idea that it exists is going to mean that their entire metagame just gets so much greasier because of these layers and the trickle down of how just a couple of cards are going to warp how everyone builds their decks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of brings in a point though with the aspect of how the game's been moving to more removal already though. I mean, we've had discussions the last few weeks about how more removal should be in your decks. Like traditionally, we'd say 4 to 5. We're talking
not enough anymore.
No, 6 to 8, and I think I'd even maybe say upwards 10 with Opposition being a thing now. Opposition Agent being a huge format warper, it is an insane value card.
I still say you're a cruel person if you play this in a 9 or 10 pod, but that's just me.
Like EK said, I think with Opposition in the format, like the Jeweled Lotus impact kind of gets reduced down because more removal is going to be there, and there are a lot of multi-target removal that hit either a creature or an artifact or a.
Well, I mean, it's not just Opposition Agent either. It's Hull Breacher.
True.
It's Urza. It's Selvala. It's Najila. Najila, like I was looking at like CEDH tier list the other day. Najila is like one of the top tier 1 decks right now.
Oh.
I looked at that screenshot you sent me. It looked incredibly too easy to win on turn 3 or 4. I was like,
and that's my janky brew of it too.
He had like 4 things on screen, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you won. Okay.
Yeah, it was 4 things, and one of them was a Soul Ring.
And
I was like, yeah, Steven, this goes infinite. But yeah, like there's so much stuff that's so fast right now that just needs to get removed, and adding more threats on there is just gonna it forces everyone else to run more removal.
Yeah.
Which like I said, in a weird way reduces the impact of these cards, but it does not mean that the impact is already massive, because it's caused such a huge ripple through the entire metagame, I should say. Sorry.
Definitely agreed.
But like on in the casual format, quote unquote casual kind of scale of things, where people I guess you could say the same thing too, because like they all like in the casual format, they run so much removal already.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of extra spots to fill when you take out the expensive cards. So
Yeah.
Deck costs go down. Yay.
Well, but you could also say there are bound to be metagames out there where like people don't run, a lot of removal. Like if I don't know, say if like the game nights meta was a meta, like an example of meta, they don't run a lot of removal in those decks. A card like Jeweled Lotus would completely warp like a game nights meta.
Yeah, that's true. I think like it impacts the power level of the pod you're kind of in, right? Like depending when you draw it in the game, as we've said, but it's kind of
when it happens, it's huge.
It is,
and I think that's where a lot of people derive their problem.
Absolutely, it's the 1% of the time it'll happen because it is a 1 in 99. I mean, there will be good chances in drawing.
It's a little higher than that. I could do
But you know what I mean. It's a 1 card in 99. The percent of drawing it is higher. It's probably in the 7 to 10% kind of range after mulligans.
Yeah, that's it. It's like a little under 8% to have it in your opening hand.
But like out of 100 games, that's still like 7 to 8 games that you're gonna draw it in your opening hand, not including tutors. That's still pretty impactful. Like that's not an unbeknownst percent. It's not like it's a 0.1.
Yeah,
it's enough to warrant cause for concern or discussion.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Okay, so speaking of cause for concern or discussion, members of the community have called for this card to be preemptively banned, like how Lutri is. For those of you who don't know what Lutri is, he's a very, very delicate otter boy who is banned for no good reason. The rules committee says at the moment they have no intention to ban the card. However, Commander Advisory Group members and high-profile community members playtested the set and flat out told WotC to not to print the card. Is this card worthy of a ban, or does the hype behind it provocate a general feeling of unrest in the community to the point we're at now?
I'll lead off on this one. So,
yeah, you have some thoughts.
Yeah.
No, it does not need to be banned. I actually think, like we discussed, it's super underwhelming and people will see that. But I completely agree why they said do not print this card. Because of these discussions, because it does, the way the community is nowadays, the way Twitter is, don't give them a seemingly Black Lotus to freak out over. With gorgeous art, mind you.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say a seemingly Black Lotus, and like we talked about Wheel of Misfortune earlier. This sets a precedent that they are now willing to go look at power. Yeah, they're willing to go there.
But like, I'm sure, like, well, let's go back on Wheel of Misfortune. If you're gonna tell me that people don't want Wheel of Fortune reprinted again?
So I think it's really funny that he brought that up because we were literally pre-show praising them for printing Wheel of Misfortune.
No, I love Wheel of Misfortune.
Bring the card back.
You can't. But playing Wheel of Fortune says, I mean, I know they've taken cards off the reserve list. Mana Drain, which is in the set, being an example. Same with Vamp Tutor, that was on the reserve list at one point. It does set a precedent, like you will do it, but it doesn't mean you have to do it all the time.
Correct.
Maybe it is better if you just have something that's functionally like that, but not like you have a functional Wheel of Fortune, but not actually a Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
I mean, it's not actually a Wheel of Fortune. It's a fun, flavorful, multiplayer way of doing it. And I get that that's like,
it's gonna get people killed.
In a way, let's play a game. Let's play a game and see who gets a new 7-card hand, kind of thing. How bad do you want it?
Yeah, in a way, like that's what they were trying to do with Jeweled Lotus, but I don't think it hits the same mark that Wheel of Misfortune hits.
Agreed. I like Wheel of Misfortune, the way that they kind of styled it, just to kind of touch on a color pie, it is a very red card. There is chaos it creates. It has a fun element to it, and it's still impactful in a very good way.
I flat out think that Wheel of Misfortune is the coolest card of the set.
I absolutely agree. I think that's a style card done right. That's a good way reprints are done.
I think it's the right way to do these old reserve list cards that they can't really reprint, but people love them and people want cards like them. I think that was the right way to do it.
Agreed. Maybe there was a
But-
better way they could have designed Jeweled Lotus. I mean,
Yeah, but no.
All right, let me pose that question. Do you think that there is?
I do. I don't think every avenue may have been explored that could have been. A lot of the problem we know this from other games like Hearthstone, kind of going back in, when you have a zero costed card, that is just free access mana and creates a lot of controversy no matter what. Even if it's a 1% of the time, it happens to none. I think the best approach would have been to have this maybe be like a Lotus Blossom, where it's like a suspend and then come in kind of situation. You know, not a 0 for 3, even if it's just for the commander. I think there could have been, maybe this is like Black Lotus Petal. Like, you know, they've had Lotus Petal before, 0 mana artifact, sack for 1, but I think the style could have had a homage still to like a Black Lotus. But
Okay.
done
I
a bit
mean,
different.
what do you think? I mean, I understand people weren't very good Magic players back in the day, but I'm sure everyone understood that getting free mana for nothing was pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, it doesn't need to be exactly. I'm just saying they could have paid homage to it. It doesn't have to be 0 for 3. It could have been. I
They
don't
pay,
know.
they pay a homage to Lotus constantly. Swazo,
do,
go
they
ahead.
do.
Yeah.
What if it costs 2 or 3, stayed on the board and tapped for 3 commander mana?
It wouldn't be the worst. I mean, I think that might make it
so like
better.
a repeatable rock for your commander.
Because
Yeah.
that's the 2 versions of Lotus that, or Lotai, is that a thing?
Low tie. Let's go with low tie. Low tie coin confirmed.
Okay, that's the kind of style that they have. They're either free and give you mana, or they sit around and tap for a significant amount of mana.
Yeah.
So I think they could have done that and not made
Yeah,
it
like a
work
Lotus
out.
Field.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, sack and get 3 mana off a land.
Or a Gilded Lotus. or
I
something
kind of
like
would have
that.
preferred if it was something that was like, you know, 2 or 3 mana and stuck around, because I
2
feel like
mana, 3 commander only.
Yeah,
Well, that
I
makes
think-
it like way better in every way, doesn't it?
yes
What?
and no. I mean, suddenly now you have to invest it. Yes, it sticks around, but
But
it's
it
only
only commander.
It
though.
it creates a pattern. It creates a pattern of consistency.
yeah. It's not explosive. It's not like automatically here's turn 1. You're investing 2 mana.
I mean,
on
if you,
that turn.
if you think about it, in Vintage, I mean, it is an explosive card though. Like that's kind of the point. So I get that the way they designed it was in vein of the original Black Lotus, and they were
Mhm.
trying to keep it as true to the original Black Lotus as they could. And you know, I think that's admirable that they were able to do that and apply it to Commander.
Mhm.
But I think, you know, it just harkens back on to we didn't really need this. No one really asked for it.
Yeah, probably. No, I mean, definitely. There's definitely that nobody asked for this, but I mean, I'm honestly okay with its existence. I still feel exactly the way I felt before. Is like people were getting hyped up for no reason.
But I think the
Yeah.
big
I mean, there are
thing-
reasons to be hyped up and reasons that you're blowing it out of proportion, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
There's like a line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people cross that line when in some of their soapboxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of people saw that card before they saw Opposition Agent and Hull Breacher and the other 3 mana, you know, like these 3 mana hate bears, and like thought about like other hate bears and stuff like that. Like the ripple effect because of these like just layers of changes is so significant that because of the adverse of Jeweled Lotus inadvertently does not become as good of a card as it could be.
right.
It's not that the card isn't bad. It's just that everything else is it has changed so much to keep it in check because of it. It's like, I mean, I look at my time writing about, you know, the Hearthstone metagame for years. Not until recently, very rarely, the best decks in the format are not the top deck. You know, your best deck in the format might be the top of tier 2 because the entire metagame has warped around that one deck. And you know, it's this idea that the metagame is warping around this one card and is making that one card less good.
So do you think that the entire commander metagame is going to warp around Jeweled Lotus? I would suggest it will not.
I mean, it's more likely to warp around. I mean, if we're talking about cards from this set, it's more likely to warp around Opposition Agent and Hull Breacher, and because of that,
Absolutely.
it's less likely to be good because You know, like we said, people are going to be packing tons more removal than they were before. So the commander that you're getting out on turn 1 is innumerably less likely to stick around. Or should it? It shouldn't be sticking around. Let's put it that way. Let's be a little bit realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the early commander you play out might stick around for like 1 turn, but past that, with the amount of rule that is going to be incited moving forward, and even now, I highly doubt something's going to stick around for more than a turn. I mean, in a lot of our metapods, like when someone drops like a big land threat, like our Cabal Coffers or Gaia's Cradle, even our Growing Rites of Itlamok, or something that's targetable, what's it around 1 turn, and then generally someone.
Well, I would say like lands are probably like the exception, but like like a creature threat or something like that, usually gets dealt with pretty quickly because they're the easiest things to deal with in the game.
Yeah, any non-land permanent isn't lasting.
I mean,
long.
there's always the question: does this die to Doomblade kind of thing? You know what I mean?
I was gonna comment that if I'm sitting at a table and you play a Jeweled Lotus, I'm gonna notice you did it, but I'm not freaking out. You put down a Gaia's Cradle, I am trying to find what I can do immediately. It's much more impactful. So I don't think it's gonna flip anything like that.
The amount of answers that are in a deck for what Jeweled Lotus puts out.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'll put it this way: if Jeweled Lotus is coming out, for 1, it's not gonna. No one's gonna counterspell this thing.
Yeah. What's the point?
2, it's by the time they're gonna use it right away.
Yeah.
They're not just gonna play it and leave it sit and like.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny that you word it that way. Like, I would much rather counterspell the commander and put the tax on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
for sure.
Than the Lotus up front.
Or like, okay, I run out this Jewel Lotus. I'm not gonna use it right away, but
you're pointing a gun to the table. People are gonna notice.
Yeah.
But when I do use it, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's too late. Like, you can't interact with it. It's a mana ability. Doesn't use a stack. You can't do anything about it. Can't Crows and Grip it. Can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you can Crows and Grip it, but you can still activate it.
Right, and then you just Crows and Grip loses its target. Done.
It's like, okay, well, you trade your Crows and Grip for my 0-cost card. So I think I have to come up for me, frankly.
I would agree. I mean, if someone targets this for removal, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'll be like, all right, okay. My other artifacts are sticking around. My Aetherworks Marvel isn't.
It's about sending a message, Sean.
Yeah, I think that's what it.
I know.
Boils down to.
All right, so that's our little spiel about one Magic card in particular, Jeweled Lotus. What are your thoughts on Jeweled Lotus? Are you on the hype train? Are you excited? How are you feeling about it? Excited, mad, hungry? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Well, friends, I like this talk tonight. It's always fun when we get together for a nice little philosophical talk about something, especially when it's format impactful and it's controversy in this. And this is good,
It's about just like me being a parent telling someone like, no, hang on, you're wrong. Here's why, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Papa, Adam.
No, I kid you not. I'm pretty sure. Like, I sent the picture of this to Steven, and he was like, "No, we have Mana Crypt at home already."
Yeah.
At home. Child, can we have Mana Crypt? Mother, we already have Mana Crypt at home. The Mana Crypt at home.
Wait, does someone need Mana Crypt? Let me know. I'll crack you guys open some more.
I think what it boils down to is, I think you said it. You said controversy. I mean, I'm looking at 4 Magic players on the screen. You know what we love.
In the words of professional wrestling great Eric Bischoff, controversy creates cash.
Accurate.
And that's exactly what it's doing right now.
I thought we were going to go with...
Speaking of cash, if you open your new Black Lotus, just sell it right away.
Immediately.
Make no mistake. We don't usually give finance information, but yeah, honestly, sell that thing as soon as you get your hands on it.
Cash in.
Sell it with the hopes of opening one, and then just tell them you don't have it. Like, get rid of it yesterday.
or be me and go to get your foil extended art one, because I mean, it's me.
Well, you're just gonna pack it, so
if I pack one of these, it will be sold before I.
But you won't even touch your hands.
I would stop opening the other
take it out of the pack and put it on my desk.
I would stop opening the other packs, go sell it, then continue opening my cards.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I will have it buy listed on Card Kingdom. I will have it sold to Mark or Rusty or like whoever. Like, it will be gone.
I believe it. I
will be off to the post office right then and there.
Yeah, if you want to buy it, you're buying, I'm selling, so that's kind of how it is.
Let us know in the comments below if you're wanting to buy a Jeweled Lotus. We've got 4 sellers ready to go.
Yeah.
We have 4 sellers who don't even have them.
Exactly. Pre-orders are open, friends. All right.
Let's give the show the usual wrap then.
Sounds good. You guys can find us on Twitter at Draw for Turn and on Instagram at Draw for Turn Podcast. We post weekly discussion topics. Drop us a follow and get in on the conversation. To keep an eye out on new exciting events coming your way. Draw for Turn is going to have some exciting months coming up, and we'll have more information about our next episode coming up soon, which is going to be pretty spicy with a returning guest, I think. So more info to come later. But Swazi, why don't you take it away, my dude?
All right. Well, you guys can find me at on Instagram at Stevie Swazo. Find me in Twitch chats all over the world, Swazo TV. And yeah, I'm gonna pimp out this Gavi deck and see what I can do with it.
Well, it's full of blue cards, so I'm sure you'll do something.
I got islands. We'll be good.
I mean, you better doing something. Adam, what about you, my dude?
You can drop me a follow at Twitter at ds_AdamN. As usual, shout out to Top Deck Games and Comic Book Store in Southern New Jersey, supplying me with expensive cardboard since the beginning of the pandemic. Well, actually longer than that, but still.
Love it, love it. EK, my dude.
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch chat and everywhere else on the internet at EK Plays Cards. Shout out to my local game store, Games Plus, in the Chicagoland area. And shout out to Next Rich Games in Tampa, Florida, for taking care of my shiny card addiction, because no one gives you a deal like Mark does.
But yeah, Mark and Rusty giving you deals.
They're giving us all deals at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Guys, you can find me.
They're literally Twitter's local game store, and I love it for it.
Yeah,
true.
guys, if you need a hookup on where to find good cards, just go talk to EK. Like, he got me EK hooked me up to Mark.
I got you a food chain with a free Emrakul.
You did. Like, that's the good deals there. I got a food chain and a free Emrakul from Mark. So, like, chef's kiss. It was beautiful.
With the savings on your food chain, you got an Emrakul. Let's clarify.
With the savings on the food chain, but still.
There's a big difference. They're not just slinging Eldrazi
yeah.
at people for free.
Buy this, get a free Eldrazi.
It's basically the deal that he got. But anyways, check them out at Dynamo Nestico on Twitter. It's great.
Yeah,
you won't regret it.
I
will say they're not doing any sale. They usually do weekend sales. They're not doing any sales until Black Friday. They are like, they blew out their inventory over the last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to get that good. So yeah, and then they're going hard for Black Friday.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just stay up all night.
Probably. That wouldn't be so Friday. What's Black Friday anymore anyway? Anyway, other unsponsored content. Shout outs to Cardamajigs, makers of these fancy tokens here.
Fancy.
If you're looking for some good tokens, I could definitely recommend those. If you want ones that are, I could also safely recommend those Infinite tokens. Those things are pretty sweet. So shout outs to unsponsored plug there too.
I will say Cardamajig has these animated tokens that are like the coolest.
I don't know how they work, but I'm looking into it.
It's this very like 90s printing process from like those optical illusion books.
Yeah, they're the ones you like turn left and right.
Is that how they work?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Oh, okay, and I
It's
didn't know that.
But it's that on a token.
It's really cool.
Well, maybe next purchase I'll do animated. Maybe I'll do some animated.
Remind me for the next show. I'll find mine. I have 3 of them.
Nice.
All right, cool. All right.
Alrighty, friends. Well, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at AstralFlame. I stream a mix of MTG Arena, motivational talks, and other games. Friday nights, I'm usually hosting our Commander Pods. However, tonight, I gotta go because there's a big tournament tomorrow I'm off to help out with. And shoutouts to Harry Tarantula for fueling my cardboard edition, because I've got Commander Elections boxes and...
Give me free stuff. I don't want to hear it.
It's not more free stuff. I bought these ones, okay? Except they get the free Mind and Confluence because I bought 2 boxes.
All right, well, I mean, like, they just get you somehow Ashrol's is the winner of literally every Harry Tarantula contest.
It makes me think that he's their only customer, which I hope isn't.
I'm really not, but fair. The worst part is that during the contest, I actually have to sell them cards back. That's how I get entered in.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I sell cards to get more free stuff. It's fun.
You're winning your own cards back.
But as always, everyone, Remember to untap, upkeep, support your local game store, and Mark and Rusty to check out amazing deals. And
Up for
draw
turn.
for
Draw for
turn.
turn.
Return.